Hypixel Bedwars, easily Minecraft's most popular minigame ever, really. I mean, I've spent thousands of hours on this, and it has a soft spot in my heart, no matter how much I say I hate it. But there's a new kid in the town. This new minigame that I honestly think could overtake Bedwars is called Crystal Rush. Now, Crystal Rush is a minigame on the brand new minigame server, Tubnet.gg, which is a server created and founded by Tubbo, who you probably know. Now, Crystal Rush is very like Bedwars in a lot of ways, but I think it has its own uniqueness to it. Crystal Rush is similar to Bedwars in the way that there are 8 teams and an item in the middle of each island, and when broken, the player can no longer respawn, and it's a battle to see who's last. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about everything about what Crystal Rush is, down to every custom item in the game and what it does. Now, let's start at the basics. This server is based off the most recent version of Minecraft, meaning it has modern PvP mechanics. And I know a lot of you thinking, nope, I'm not playing this, I'm not. It's the majority of the Minecraft community really just loves 1.8 combat. Myself included, I used to only play this version and refuse to play any other version. But trust me, once you make the switch to 1.19, you won't want to go back. There's a higher skill cap for the players that like to sweat, and there's more of a likelihood that you're going to survive as a player that is kind of new to the game and isn't too good at PvP yet. Honestly, it's super worth learning it, and a lot of your skills can transfer. And to put it in perspective, I played 1.8 for about 2 years straight. 2 months ago, I started playing 1.19, and I've never gone back. Plus, I think I'm better at this version. So naturally, that's going to be one of the biggest differences between this and Bedwars. But another really nice change is how you respawn, such as the beds. Once it's broken, you don't respawn. A bed in Bedwars can be broken in under a second. In Crystal Rush, you have a Nexus, which is basically an amethyst block that has 10 health points. So with a wooden pickaxe, which you start with, that requires you to mine it 10 times before it actually breaks. So you can get side rush, but it doesn't mean you're instantly out. There are obviously different pickaxes that you can buy, and as you progress in the game, the better ones you can get, meaning you can break them faster. With a stone one taking 5 hits to break, an iron taking 4 hits to break, and a diamond only taking 2 hits to break the whole Nexus. So it's like armor in Bedwars. You can choose if you rush the pickaxe, or if you don't want to, you can stick with a lower tier one. Another big difference is the way that you get items. Now, rather than having iron, gold, diamond, and emeralds, you have amethyst shards. So you have weak shards, strong shards, and nexus shards. Now, these spawn on nodes with a corresponding name. So a weak node and a strong node, and then the nexus crystal. Now, these can just be mined normally as the block, or to do it a little bit faster, you can mine the crystals. To me, this is really nice compared to Bedwars, where someone can leave their base for a while, and boom, when they get back, they've got a ton of items ready. So they can instantly just buy a fireball or something. Because it's all on one block, you can have up to 4 crystals, which will be your fast way of getting it. And then past that, it's just normal generation speed. Meaning you can't just have an infinite supply of fireballs when you get back. Which I think is really nice. You should have enough there to panic buy items if it's a golden apple or if it's blocks. But not enough to the point where it's just ridiculously OP. Also, it makes it a little bit harder for the enemies to sweep in and just take all of your loot. And AFK teammates that are sitting in the gen doesn't mean anything anymore. Thank goodness. So I think this is a really unique way of doing this. So weak nodes are essentially a base gen, and strong crystals spawn in places where diamonds would be in Bedwars, as well as in mid compared to emeralds. So weak nodes can buy you the basic items, such as blocks, low-level swords, golden apples, stuff like that. The strong crystals can buy you items that are stronger, I guess, but not the super OP stuff. This buys you stuff like iron armor, iron swords, and a lot of the custom items, which we'll get into in a bit. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, how do you get the OP items? That's where Nexus shards comes in. So when you break someone's Nexus or their respawn anchor, you get 4 Nexus shards, and that allows you to buy one of the OP items. And 4 Nexus crystals is enough to get you one OP item per Nexus. So breaking one Nexus can get you diamond armor or a diamond sword or a diamond pickaxe or some of the OP custom items. So this completely gets rid of people that just rush emeralds and Bedwars and can win the game with practically no skill. So if you want to get the OP items to take the fights, you actually need to take people's respawn points. So the majority of the time, whoever did the best in the game, they win the game. So now that you know the difference between each kind of crystal, let's actually get into the details of what each crystal can buy you. But before we do that, I just want to be a little bit cheeky and ask if you could check that subscribe button. I work really hard on these videos, and I'd greatly appreciate if any of you could subscribe. Even if you think you are, just give it a little check. I upload weekly, so if you enjoy Tubnet content or just Minecraft content in general, this is the right place for you. Anyway, thank you to everyone that has subscribed, and let's get back into the video. This is what each shard can buy you. Weak crystals. For the defensive items, you can get chainmail armor, the defense totem, which is a placeable totem that when you're near it, you get resistance for a few seconds. The anti-air totem, which if someone's flying, which yes, there are items that allow you to fly, if they're 40 blocks above and close enough radius to it, it will shoot aimbot arrows at them. And the golden apple. For the offensive items, you have the stone sword and the explosive orb, and the explosive orb is basically a Bedwars fireball, but it shoots a little bit slower. And then for the utility items, concrete, wool, and copper blocks for the blocks. You spawn with a pickaxe, so concrete is the level of wool in Bedwars. Wool is about equivalent to wood in Bedwars. And copper blocks, which is like endstone. Also in the utility, you have a stone pickaxe, a healing totem, which is unplaceable, and when you're in a radius around it, it heals you. Like a portable healing pool in Bedwars. And the cloud totem, which is a really cool item. If you're falling in the void, or you're just falling from a great height, you can use the cloud totem, and it will place a platform beneath you, and you will also take no full damage. Next are the things you can buy with strong crystals. Now, it's worth noting the strong nodes actually have health points. You can mine up to 20 crystals before it has a cooldown. Now, these will regrow eventually, but you kind of just need to leave them to regrow for a bit. So typically, I mine one full geode, which has 2 blocks stacked on each other, so you get 40 strong crystals. So what can you buy with the strong crystals? Well, in the defensive shop, you can get iron armor. In the attacking items, you can get an iron sword, TNT that ignites on placement like Bedwars, bows, arrows for the bows, a speed potion, and also my favorite item in the whole game, winged orbs. They basically launch you into the air and give you an elytra where you can fly across the map. But just watch out for anti-air totems, because they will be a pain for you. In the utility section, you could buy yourself an iron pickaxe, a grapple orb, which is really cool. It has no drop-off and is essentially a grapple gun. So you can throw it at a wall and it will take you to that wall, or you can grapple onto someone and it will fling them towards you, or sometimes fling them into the void. And then you also have a bridge orb, which is just a bridge egg from Bedwars. And last but definitely not least is the Nexus shards. Now, once again, if you break someone's Nexus, you get 4 of these shards. So I'm going to tell you what each one of these costs, and you can kind of decide how you want to buy them, what order you want to buy them, and what ones you just want to forget about. Diamond armor costs 4 shards. A diamond sword costs 4 shards. A launch totem costs 4 shards, which is essentially a winged orb, but it sends you way higher into the sky and sends you way faster when gliding. I've not got around to playing duos as well, but I think this does allow your teammate to also glide with you. Personally, most of the time I don't go for these, but if I've already got stuff like diamond sword and diamond armor and don't have any winged orbs left, sometimes I pick this up just to go rush someone else's base. A boost orb costs 3 Nexus shards, which basically sends you super speed in the direction you're looking whilst using it. A poison orb costs 1 Nexus shard. Think of it as a throwable dragon's breath that doesn't hurt you and only your enemies. And finally, a diamond pickaxe costs 4 Nexus shards, which seems overpriced, but it literally can break someone's Nexus in 2 hits. It's pretty OP. Now, you can mess around with which items of these you buy. Personally, what I do is I buy diamond armor first, then a diamond sword, then a diamond pickaxe. If I somehow have more Nexus shards, I buy a launch totem just so I can rush someone's base extra fast, and I can use a winged orb in a more panicked situation and save that. And that's all you really need to know on the game mode Crystal Rush on Tubnet. Question is, what do you guys think of this minigame? Let me know in the comments, and whether you think it stands a chance of overtaking the mighty Bedwars. I know they're not directly competing because there's a whole different PvP mechanic, but I just really want to see Crystal Rush and Tubnet do well. But thank you guys for watching. I hope this video helped. I stream a lot of Tubnet and Minecraft in general on my Twitch daily. Exact same username as my YouTube, 7 p.m. every day UK time. So come stop by. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you soon. Bye!